I grew up in the Hamptons of Long Island, where all the rich people live. And when I got old enough, I decided to start driving taxi on the weekends. At a 15 passenger club van, I would go to the house. I would take everybody that I could in the vehicles and make sure everybody was out of the house. I'd take them to the club and drop them off.
Oh
I'd
no.
turn around and I'd call dispatch and tell them I had to use the bathroom. I'd go back to that house and I'd rob it. Take everything of value that I can, cell phones at a time, cameras, any cash, jewelry, and especially the drugs. And then I would go back to the club that night, pick the people back up, take them back home, wait for the report the next morning, and laugh the whole time. I did that consistently for 3.5 years.
You never got
Shut
caught?
up.
Never got caught. At the end, before I went away for my big deal, I went to work one afternoon, and as I pulled in, the owner was standing there talking to a detective from the local police station. They wanted to speak to me. So we went on down to the police station. He interrogated me about this stuff, and I looked at him. He says, "Hey, we know you did this." I said, "Well, then you got a job to do. Prove it."
I'm your professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring a scantron, it's pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber Diatron. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, you seen the clip. This is how crime works in America when people have these issues about, oh, you people do this and y'all do this and y'all do that. And, every now and then I got to say, this is what happens in America. Think about that. The man was robbing people for years and they figured it out. And then he was like, I'm out. I ain't got nothing to do. And all the people he robbed know it's him and the police know it's him. But he's like, hey, you got to prove it. And then years later, you can call the show and say, I did that. And that would be, he might have waited till the statute of limitations was up to say that. So, I don't think he did that, and still could be looked at in any kind of way or looked into in any kind of way. But the issue is this. People like this don't go to jail. They don't get a record. So when people look at these statistics, the black people are doing this and the black people are doing that, they're overlooking the hordes and hordes of people out here who have criminal stories like this that aren't black, that can just walk around and cavalierly say, yeah, I was doing that. I was committing this crime, and I was robbing these people and stealing from these people, and I was dealing drugs from these people, and I was evading the government and this, and those were the days. So when people make these arguments about who's the most this, that, and the third, they never like talking about this type of stuff. They don't like talking about it, and it becomes disingenuous. Because ultimately what you're saying is, you want people like me to look like and be postered up as the face of crime, while you are the actual criminal who never gets arrested. And I was clowning, listening to something, I think it was a clip of Big Boy, and he was just joking around. I said, tell me a conspiracy theory. And the guy says he thought his black friend was crazy because he said, the stoplights in the hood last longer than the ones in the suburbs because the police need to jam you up, so they need a little bit more time. And he said, I thought it was crazy. And they both was in the quote unquote streets or whatever. And he said, man, that's really true. And, myth, whatever. And Big Boy said, I heard that too. And it's like, myth, whatever. Would you put it past this country? No. Could it be a myth and just people just playing games? Yes. But there have been plenty of nights when I've heard, drag racing on the freeway, no arrest. I remember, I would say back in the day, if you live in the suburbs, you got the news that you want to know about. that when you have all the bad activity going on, that's going to be in your local paper. That's not going to be on the television. So you be like, what? Drug bust, meth ring, well, theft ring, car ring, racketeering, prostitution, trafficking. What? All of this stuff is 2, 3, 4 blocks away. What? I didn't know. Yeah, you didn't. And that's the issue. You wasn't gonna know, because different strokes for different folks, and different consequences too. I've seen the people who are suspicious, and see the people who are not suspicious, and I'm looking dead at them. And I remember my dog, and I remember having a moment where I tell the story. I was in the mall, and I would go into in this mall, Burlington Coat Factory. It's an entrance, and I buy stuff from Burlington. So, but I walked in, and this guy saw me, and he says, a security dude, and he's like, yo, making sure you're not stealing. And I just looked at him, and I said, listen, man, if I wanted to steal, I would bring some white people with me, because you're not going to watch them. And the look on his face was like, that would, he's like, man, that worked, because I knew how, they stole. Like, white people would steal all the time because they're not being watched. My at homeboy, when I was younger, he said, I don't like gypsies because they always stealing. He was a white guy. He was like, he said, you could peep it because you know the signs, right? But I know, as time went on, me and that security guy got cool because of that. He's like, you know what? That is, what the heck? Because people don't want to say what they see. People going places, doing quick little money and change scams. People are scamming all kind of ways, and it's like, you're not really gonna call this out, okay? And the police kind of overlook it. It's like, me driving around in the hoopty, I'm getting pulled over. Them driving around in the hoopty, it's a nice car, it's classic. The same thing. I knew about it when I look at, like, when I see my own people into smoking weed or whatever. They'll be in their car smoking, and I'm like, bro, why are you doing this? You're gonna get pulled over. But then turn around, I could see the police driving down the block, and somebody have like their garage open, and they smoking in the garage, and it's all in the smell is all in the street. But he don't fit the description, so let's just ride on by. So that's the issue. But tell me what you think, man, because that, to me, that's where the hypocrisy lies a lot of times. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace. You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna tell you that.